Well, hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm here with Wolves reporter Mr. Liam Keane. Liam, we've got some very exciting news here for Express and Star readers. Please divulge.
We do. Wolves chairman Jeff Shi has made the decision, I think it was his idea, to pen a column to Wolves fans. And he's come to the conclusion that he would like to use the Express and Star to pen that column. So it's quite, big news for everyone involved, really. I mean, without going into details on what he's going to say, and this will be a quarterly thing. So the first one coming as soon as, and then a sort of a quarterly basis from then onwards. So 4 times a year on average.
That's what quarterly means.
Exactly. But obviously it's not the end of the year, you know what I mean. So without going into detail of what he's saying, the idea is that Jeff Shi wants to speak to the fans and wants to have the opportunity to say whatever it is he's got to say. So to make it clear, this isn't us interviewing him. We haven't spoken to Jeff about what he's going to say. We haven't put any questions to him. We are still pushing for interviews with the hierarchy, as we always do, and we always will do. But this is something that's come from his own idea, something he wants to do. It's unprecedented, really, for a Premier League chairman to pen a column with anyone, let alone a local newspaper. So it's pretty big news, and we're interested and excited to see what he got to say.
Yeah, and you've got to give credit to Jeff Shi as well. Chairman of the football club, of course, he's had some fantastic times, also had some difficult times recently. But the fact that he's going to do it, as you've said, on a regular basis, it will be Jeff Shi, it'll be Jeff Shi alone writing it. He could quite easily, as some chairmen do, if they wanted to do that, they could write it in a programme, they could put it on their own website. But like you say, to go to a local paper, to go to the Express and Star, of course, is a fantastic coup for us, but also you've got to give this chairman credit for doing this, because he didn't need to do it, and it's a brilliant accolade.
Yeah, I think so, because we stood here and had a debate on camera in the summer out in Portugal when there wasn't any communication, when Jeff was quite quiet and we weren't hearing from him.
We were vocal on that at the time.
And we were vocal on that at the time and said it's time for him to talk. And he did the letter at the time, which he wrote, and I thought that was good communication, albeit some fans obviously don't accept everything that he's going to say, which is understandable. I think it's fair and right to question and look at everything that is there. But now this is going to be something that's regular. I believe, if I'm looking at it correctly, that his last interview was just over 2 years ago, away from the club, sort of a separate independent interview. Now, as I say, this isn't an interview, and we're still pushing for those kind of things to happen. But to get regular communication from the chairman in a way that, it's him writing it himself as well, I think is hopefully going to be really helpful. An important point to make: a lot of columns, people might not realise this in sort of the media and in journalism, a lot of columns are ghostwritten, so it'll be a conversation over the phone, and the journalist, i.e. me in this case, would write it up. This is not the case. No. Jeff will be writing this himself completely. I will have no input into what he says, and I will be equally as complimentary or critical depending on what he says at the time.
And look, it'd be interesting what he does say, actually. The fans, I'm sure, will agree with a lot of it, be excited about it, they'll be disagree as well. But at the same time, the fact that he's putting it on paper, the fact that we'll be able to read it in the Express and Star, read it online at expressandstar.com, is brilliant. And the fact it's going to be 4 times a year as well. There's not going to be ducking or diving if it's going great or if it's going badly on the pitch. Jeff Shi is going to do this column, and I think that's great.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that comes back to the earlier point about communication. Regardless of what happens now, we've been told this is a regular thing, happening quarterly, coming very soon, the first one, and from then onwards, as you say there, if they go and lose 6-7 in a row, we've been told that it's staying as it is. So,
and if they win 6-7 in a row, then happy days.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can only compliment that that communication. And hope that it's an interesting read for everyone. But yeah, first one coming very, very soon.